It's the first time we've got a chance to talk to you. You've been here since the spring. What's your journey been like being in Fayetteville, and how you adjusted?
It's been really awesome. When I first got here, it was a little tough getting used to all the tempo and the workouts. I remember the first workouts, it was tough, but I'm starting to get more acclimated, and yeah.
What are some of the major differences? Obviously, it's a bigger program, but some of the major differences from Albany to Fayetteville?
I feel like tempo is like a huge difference. Even in the workouts, it's constantly you're going. Going to practice, it's going, rep after rep. And Albany is a little more laid back and not as much tempo.
Stephen, what led you here? I mean, you played major college football before, and then you went to Marshall, and then now you're back and you're in the SEC now. What led you to Arkansas?
I would say, honestly, what led me was God. I think my time at Marshall, just the things that were going on there and the way that I saw my life going and my career, I could tell that, my time at Marshall was coming to an end. And, I think that coming to Arkansas, it really did make me realize, like, this is where I was supposed to be, God guided my steps. And just coming here, man, especially with the connection I had with Coach Woodson, him, hitting me up and then getting in contact with Coach T. Will, it was, pretty much set up from the jump. And then, I think, like, before I left here, I'm like, there's no other place I'd rather be, coming to Arkansas.
How's the defense? What do you think about the defense, how it suits your skills, and how you been fitting in so far?
Yeah, I think I've been fitting in really well. It's nothing that I haven't really been through. I think the system is very similar to the previous programs I've been at Marshall and Florida State. So I think that coming in, it wasn't too hard to get adjusted. It's just really, the terminology, man, us using the different words for the same concepts for the most part. But I think I fit the system pretty well, honestly.
And Anton, for you, Coach Pittman said you came back, and I'm like, you're battling Nico right now. How do you feel like, your skills might fit into this system?
I think it's just I got to keep working and keep going hard and just learn all the techniques. When I first came in, the techniques were a little bit different from Albany, and just getting used to all that here.
Stephen, it looks like you and Coach Woodson were at Florida State at the same time. Will you talk about that connection and reconnecting with him?
Yeah, Coach Woodson, I want to say he was there. I want to say the first year I was there. And I want to say he left like that last year when I was hurt, like right before I ended up leaving Florida State. Obviously our time there, we just built a relationship as, we walked through the hallways, worked together on the defense, talk ball and stuff. So I think that really did play a big part in me coming here, just knowing Coach Woodson. And, he was just a guy that was always open arms, man, always wanting to talk, if you never needed to talk or whatever. But I think that relationship there is really what also assisted in me coming here to Arkansas.
Anton, I think you went from something like 5 sacks, 2 years ago to the big number you had last year. How did you, what would you most improve in to kind of have that ability to take a leap?
I would say a little bit of everything. When I first got to Albany, that was like my first time really going into a summer training program. 'Cause I was at D2, never really had an off season. Went to JUCO, COVID happened, never had an off season. So just I feel like the weight room aspect, coaches, technique, all that stuff really played into a role.
So it sounds like it's kind of been a really quick rise for you, from JUCO to Albany to now to the SEC. I mean, have you maybe surpassed even your own expectations when you got into college football?
Yeah, I always had a feeling I could play bigger ball, but this was always my dream to get to one of these big schools, and it just finally happened. Thanks to the transfer portal a little bit.
And just what was like being a part of, I know the Albany team had a lot of success last year. What was that like, kind of being a part of a team that was contending for a national championship?
Yeah, it was awesome. Like, just the last year before that, we were, I think, 3-9, and just we had all the same people and just the brotherhood that we created out there, and I just loved that year last year.
Anton, there's always going to be comparisons where you came from with Jared Verse. Have you heard those, and what do you think of that? I mean, just take it as a compliment.
I mean, I take it as a compliment. We're different players, but yeah, Jared's like my big bro, so.
Stephen, just their linebacker room, it kind of got depleted with the transfer portal last year, but Coach T. Will went and brought a bunch of new players in. Just talk about that and how everybody's fitting in, you and Xavier and the other guys. I mean, Larry, Anthony.
Yeah, I think that was one thing that he mentioned to me when I was on my visit. He wanted to bring in guys that had experience. I mean, I think our linebacker room is the most talented one that I've probably been around. I'm not going to lie to you. I think we have a lot of talented guys that just, need the opportunity, like, Brad, Spence, and Sorey, man. Like, those are great players. I think bringing us in just adds to it, creates that depth that you need for a long season here in the SEC. Like they say, it's just different here. And I think that's what's really going to help bring a lot of success to the teams when you have a lot of guys that are able to play, especially in that linebacker room.
Brad Spence, he's one of the guys that played last year that did come back. Is he impressed you with his play? And
absolutely.
Has he taught you? I mean, you learned anything from him, maybe? Tidbits?
Yeah, I guess I just watching him play. Honestly, he's very athletic. Great player. I can't wait to play with him, man. Play beside him, and just with that whole entire room, man. This is gonna be really exciting. Not gonna lie.
Hey, Anton, who else was recruiting you out of the portal?
A couple schools. I had Texas A&M, Oklahoma, and Arizona. Like those were the official, like the last 5.
Yeah, well, those are all really big programs. Including Arkansas, that's 3 SEC teams, and Arizona's in the Big 12 now. What was it like having those big schools interested in you?
It's just surreal. Like you never really when you go into the portal, you're not really expecting some people are saying, oh, you're gonna get just Group of 5, and just going on the phone with Sam Pittman, Coach Pittman, and Coach Venables. It's just like a surreal experience.
What was it about Arkansas that did it for you?
It gave me the family feel, and that's really what brought me here.
And then how different is this? I apologize, I don't know that much about Port Jervis. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, Port Jervis.
Yeah, sorry, I should have looked it up. But how different, and being in Albany and New York, how different is it being up there and then down here?
Yeah, it's a little bit different. I started to get used to it.
Is there anything in particular, sweet tea, barbecue? Or
yeah, the barbecue is definitely different down here.
And I was just wondering, being with Landon Jackson all throughout camp and just what he's brought to maybe you and the rest of the defensive ends.
Yeah, just learning. That's that's a guy to look up to and learn from everything he does. Like he's projected top draft pick, so just really everything he does, just learning from him, and really the whole defensive line. I always pick up on stuff from everybody.
Yeah, Stephen, I was just looking. So you played in all 9 games, had 45 tackles at Florida State as a freshman. That's not a small feat. Played all 12 the next year, then had your injury. What ultimately led for you making the decision to leave Florida State?
I think just honestly, it was. It was really something that the coaches honestly did for me. It's a business. It is what it is. The DC Coach Fuller brought me into his office. He told me, I know you still have aspirations to play and be, a starter like you believe you can be. And, I knew I could do that. And he just, gave it to me, told me like a man, I think it's probably best if you look for another program. So, I ended up, taking off. It's still mutual respect because he respected me enough to tell me straight to my face, knowing that I still wanted to pursue my dream and, play big time ball and be a starter. So he just told me what it was, and he said that he would love to still have me 100%. But if that's what I really want to do, then he doesn't want to keep me there and keep me from chasing that. So it was just respect at the end, and that's all I could ask for, honestly.
What was the injury that you were dealing with?
It was a torn labrum in my shoulder.
You feel like that limited you at all with your aspiration, I guess?
Oh no, I made a full recovery the next spring, so I was fine. Yeah.
Your role with this team, are you working primarily inside? You doing any, getting close to the line of scrimmage, or are you just pretty much on the inside?
I think it's all over, just depending on whatever Coach T. Will wants to put in for the package. We line up everywhere, pretty versatile. So
you work down at Sam and all that kind of stuff too?
Mostly just Mac in the middle. Yeah.
Stephen, what is special maybe about playing for T. Will as a defensive coordinator? How does he? What makes him different than maybe some other defensive coordinators you've had in the past?
I would say definitely his energy, the way he approaches the meetings, man, approaches practice, the way he approaches us as a group, as a linebacker group, and as a whole defense. Honestly, I think he really brings that factor in where he separates himself, man. When he walks in there, it's we're excited to work, man. Even if we're not going through camp, we might be tired, but he still brings that energy, man, and it motivates us to go out there and give our best because we see him coming and giving his best every single day.
Anytime you got a thought on that? Maybe I know you're not a linebacker, but what you see working with T. Will?
Yeah, just the energy and all the schemes that he's bringing. I just love his defense.
So, guys, camp ended, I guess, over the weekend, and today is the first day of school. I wonder what Coach Pittman's message was to the team in terms of, did y'all get done what you wanted to in camp, and what's it like? What was today like? Were you outside, inside? Full pads?
We were outside.
Yeah, full.
Yeah.
What about the message from Coach Pittman in terms of camp, like how it went?
I think camp went pretty good. I think we took the strides we need, and obviously we're just going to keep working and keep building up for that first game.
Yeah, same question to you. Like, do you feel like camp, Coach Pittman felt fulfilled with what camp looked like for you?
Yeah, he definitely did.
All right. What's the biggest crowd you feel like you played in front of? Largest?
When I first got to Albany, Baylor, I think it was around 40,000.
Are you looking forward to? That'd be pretty small by SEC standards. Are you looking forward to playing in front of 80, 8,500?
Yeah, I can't wait to have that feeling of just playing in front of all those people.
And then the other day after the scrimmage, Landon was one of the guys in here, and we asked him about you, and he said you were running around with your hair on fire, playing with your hair on fire, I think was the term he used. I know you had to miss a few days. How good was it to get back? And did you hear he said that about you? And what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's why I like doing is playing hard, and I love when I came back and just going back all into the football stuff. I was out for a couple of days and couldn't really do anything, so it was just a boring time in my life right there.
Yeah, Steven, did you know Rodney Hill at all? I think you guys were at FSU for 1 year, but you were hurt, so I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, nah, definitely. When I want to say when I committed, and I want to say Rodney committed before me, but I think when I had committed, I think I hit him up or he hit me up, and then I had realized, oh snap, Rodney's here. I didn't even know because I know he had that, whatever he had going on when he was in the portal and whatnot. But it was definitely awesome being able to see him, meet up with him again.
How well do you think it is that two guys were at FSU together, and then he was at, I guess, Florida A&M, I don't know, however long he was there, and then you obviously were at Marshall for a year. I mean, how I don't know if it's cool, weird, bizarre that you guys both go from FSU to Arkansas.
It's just crazy how, things like that will have two people that knew each other, like just me and Coach Woodson, like how I ended up there. I mean, it's just crazy. It kind of makes you realize how small a world it is,
Well, what kind of player do you think Rodney is? I mean, have you gone against him much in practice? Or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's electrifying is what I'd probably say. Like he's a hard runner. You guys seen him at Florida State, man. I mean, he's a baller. Run the ball, route running, he's the full package in my opinion.
And I guess you guys play with the twos a lot. I just wonder maybe if each one of you could say what you think about the other guy's game, if that's not too weird when you're sitting next to each other.
Him?
No, well, what do you think about him, and what does Anton think about you? Your game,
Oh, he's a great player. Yeah. It's actually crazy because we played against each other in our opener last year with Marshall and Albany. Yeah, and I forgot how we came across it, but yeah, we ended up. I ended up realizing he was at Albany last year when he told me, and we actually played each other our first game last season.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that went better for you guys.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I just wonder, what do you like about him as a player, and then Anton, what do you like about Steven?
His motor, man. He runs to the ball, man. He plays like a maniac, and you just love that someone that on the D line will run to the ball like every single play, man. That's what he does.
And Steven's he's a physical backer, and he knows what he's doing, and he just commands the defense when he's out there.